love Halloween, but Halloween means different things to different people. Some stay home and give out candy to children. Ancient druids, they lit bonfires and chanted to placate the dead. And others get downright zombified and party like freaks of the night. I think you can guess which option we went with, huh? We will scoff. Bocconcini eyeballs wrapped in prosciutto, maggot and worm cauliflower salad, vegetarian coffin sandwiches with walnut pesto, bracciole severed arm in bloody marinara. For dessert, toffee candied apples sprinkled with Malden salt, and finally candy-infused vodka. Pano stalks of flank steak and beef jerky.
Hark, the flesh of two beasts, bro.
The spice agent yaps of pimento and Malden salt.
Salty, so salty, oh.
Hans gives us alternatives to candy.
Sweetness is the weakness of lesser men.
Freaking Hans and this robe is so itchy. Shback. I'm Nadia G, and you're watching Bitchin' Kitchen's Halloween Special! Creepy decor, scoffing all kinds of treats and scary makeup. I love Halloween so much, I made a career out of it. But as much as Halloween rocks, let's face it, creepalicious food sucks. Everything's made of gelatin or fondant. Sure, it looks amazing, but it's got no flavor, no substance. Listen, that's okay when choosing a boyfriend. But not with food, man. Not with food. That's why today on Bitchin' Kitchen, we're gonna whip up some terrifying treats that actually taste bitchin'. Let's get cooking. We're gonna start with our Bocconcini Eyeballs. Here I've got 8 large green olives stuffed with pimento. What we're gonna do is slice them into 1/4-inch discs. Now, grab a bocconcini, place the olive disc on top, and trace around it using a sharp paring knife. I wanna go about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch deep in these little mozzarella balls. Pop out the chunk of cheese, in goes the olive retina. While I finish these up, here's the spice agent with more on pimento.
Thank you, Nadia. Pimento is also known as cherry pepper, a large, heart-shaped chili. They are sweet, succulent, and even more aromatic than the red bell pepper. These pimento chili used to be cut and put in olives by hand, but eventually they realized that machine do more efficient job. My ex-wife realized this too. So to simplify the process, pimento is now pureed and formed into a jelly strips with natural gumming. Nadia, in Ra'anana, we don't celebrate Halloween. The closest thing we have is Purim. We ring the door of the aged and infirm to give them treat. Not like Kit Kat or Tootsie Roll, but amazing homemade specialties like latkes, knish, salat turki, hummus, pocket, baklava, bepita, gvinat surba, and borekas. But the trick is to leave before they turn on their dialysis machine. Because once they turn it on, you lose your Wi-Fi connection.
Thanks, Let's finish these eyeballs. Grab a bocconcini and wrap it in prosciutto. Reminds me of that saying, when you gaze into the abyss gazes back into you, but with cheese. Let's plate this dish. Now you want to serve these on a black plate, this way they really stand out. If you don't have black plates, don't bother making this dish. Order some chicken and call it a night. Just kidding. Order pizza. Pizza's better. Now, drizzle a little bit of aged balsamic. Add a pair of our eyeballs. A little bit of sea salt. Pepper. And shka. The fresh bocconcini. We've got a little bit of sweet tanginess from the balsamic vinegar and that retina. Your friends are gonna be like, these are awesome. And you're gonna be like, they're so awesome. And they're gonna be like, easy there, humble chef. And you'll be like, hey, I won't be disrespected in my own house. Get out. Get the out. Next up, a worm and maggot salad, aka cauliflower couscous with dried peaches, fresh grapes, topped with salty beef jerky bits. Now granted, the words raw cauliflower are enough to strike fear into most people's hearts, but don't worry about it, this salad is delicious. Here I got 1 head of raw cauliflower. What we're gonna do is cut off the florets. Throw these in the food processor. And then pulse it a couple of times until it looks like couscous, or in this case, maggots. Takes about 10 to 15 pulses. Oh, look at that texture. Into the bowl it goes. Next, we're gonna julienne some dried white peaches. You could also use dried pears. It doesn't affect me. Olives. Into the bowl they go. When we get back, we're gonna finish up this worm and maggot salad. Panos is gonna report on beef jerky, and I'm gonna share some Halloween childhood trauma. Stay hungry, moi. I told you I couldn't cackle. Now, my parents are Italian immigrants, so let's just say they didn't fully grasp the Halloween concept. One year, they just put me in a snowsuit and slapped a salad bowl on my head. When I saw the picture, I asked my mother, Ma, what exactly am I supposed to be here? She says, really, Nadia, you're astronaut. Yeah, okay, astronaut. I was a sweaty kid in a snowsuit with a salad bowl on my head. Now, I know babies don't understand much, but that's like dressing your blind cousin in a tutu and being like, whatever. He listens to Nickelback. He deserves it.
What?
Shh, I have a quota. It's time to finish our maggot and worm salad. To our cauliflower couscous and dried peaches, add a 1/4 cup of chopped fresh mint. Time to have some grapes. Now, this is usually a pretty painful process, cutting each grape by hand. So check out this trick. Grab 2 plates. Place one of them upside down. Add the grapes in a single layer. Put the other plate on top the right way. Firmly press down on it and slice through the middle with a really sharp knife. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? Put our grapes in the salad. Now we're gonna make a champagne vinegar and poppy seed dressing. To a food processor, add 1/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil and 1/3 of a cup of champagne vinegar. Simultaneously, like a pro. Tablespoon of maple syrup and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Simultaneously, like a pro. Me too, I got tricks, huh? 1 minced clove of garlic. I could be a bit rougher with that. You gotta shake it up. Give it a whir to emulsify, like a pro. Yep, that's some pretty nice emulsification, huh? We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds, pinch of sea salt. Look at this. Oh! Some freshly cracked eggs. Pulse it one more time so everything gets mixed up. Pour the dressing into the salad. I love the smell of this champagne vinegar. It's got such a nice pungency to it. If you can't find that, I think apple cider vinegar will do just fine. And now, add 1/2 cup of teriyaki beef jerky cut into bits. Here's Panos with more on bits. Jerky bits. Beef jerky bits.
Thanks, Dad. You can make jerky out of almost any kind of meat or fish. You basically cut the flesh into thin strips. Use salt and spices to marinate. And then dry it out at a low temperature, about 70 degrees. Mads. Yeah, I love jerky so much that I never touch the stuff. Why? Why? Because if I get my hands on jerky, I won't stop eating it, bro. One time I ate 6 bags of jerky. Each bag has 4 ounces of meat. Each ounce has 500 milligrams of sodium. I scoffed 12,000 milligrams of sodium, bro. That's 8 times the recommended intake. 8 times. You do the math.
You just did the math.
Lads, I swelled up all swollen, bro. I got so swollen, I lost circulation in my pinky. The ring, it started strangling me. They almost had to amputate.
Amputeren, toch? Laat me mijn voet erop.
Ishe babies.
Milas. Can't you see I'm telling a story here, huh? Pain is pain. You know how much gas I had after that jerky fiasco.
Thanks, Panos. Let's plate this dish. This salad has it all. The crunchy texture, you got the sweetness from the grapes and the dried peaches, our zesty champagne poppy seed vinaigrette, and these beef jerky bits. They're just like bacon bits, but teriyaki-er. Next up, vegetarian coffin sandwiches with walnut pesto. Now every party needs a veggie option. Plus, we have a massive meat dish coming up. As the old Italian saying goes, eat too much meat and you get the squills. What? Said the saying was old, not classy. We're gonna start with our walnut pesto. In a food processor, throw in 2 cups of packed fresh basil, half a cup of toasted walnuts, chopped up, 2 garlic cloves, 1/4 cup of grated Parmigiana, and blend. Now stream in a 1/4 cup of walnut oil. Could also use extra virgin olive oil. Good. Let's give it a taste. So fresh. Here I got some pumpernickel bread that's been sliced about a 1/4 inch thin. We're building a triple decker sandwich, so grab 3 slices and we're gonna cut them into coffin shapes, like this. Let's build this sandwich. Slather the bread with some mayo, our walnut pesto, add some toasted almond slivers, a layer of sliced Macintosh apples, some sliced cheddar. You can also make these with brie. In fact, I prefer them with brie. Just made them with cheddar to spite you. And a little bunch of alfalfa sprouts. Not too much, though. Nobody really likes this stuff. Admit it. Go like that. Add our final piece of bread on top. Nice. You know what's scarier than being in a coffin? I don't know, getting the billet blue ribbon, whatever. If you're in a coffin, you're already dead. What's really scary is coffin commercials. Sometimes I listen to the classical music station, and all I hear is ads for funeral homes. But my heart goes out to these poor geezers, just trying to relax, get down to a little bit of Mozart, and every 15 minutes they're bombarded with how they're gonna croak soon. I ask myself why. Why didn't I invest in Apple stock? Every year it seems too expensive, and then boom, it goes up again. A lot on my mind, man. This fresh pumpernickel bread, you got the walnut pesto, you really taste that basil, very original with walnuts, our salty cheese, tart apples, and those alfalfa sprouts, piece a bit like moss, but I'll eat it. When we get back, it's time for our main event, Bracciola's severed arms smothered in bloody marinara, and I'm gonna reveal my biggest fears. Mwah! A bit goat-like, but I think it's getting there, no? And we're back with Bitchin' Kitchen's Halloween special. Now, I don't care what anyone says. Halloween is terrifying. Never mind the gore. I'm talking computer nerds in pimp costumes, all that money and energy your neighbors spent decorating their stinking lawn. These things make my blood run cold. But this is the ultimate in terrifying. I love tomatoes. You know, my grandmother, she loved tomatoes too. When I was a kid, I'd pick them right off the vine. Not my grandmother's vine, though, because she didn't have a garden. Oh, I love summer. Don't you love gardens? Anyways, these tomatoes, tomatoes, I right off the vine. Tomatoes.
Wallach, Miss G.
Nice. How do you like your eggs? Sunny side up, huh?
chat that says no, Google it. It's hilarious. It's time for our I didn't shave. It's time for our main event. Braciola's severed arm in bloody marinara. We're gonna start with the sauce. Heat a pot on medium. Pour in 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Add 4 cloves of garlic. And saute for about 1 minute until the garlic is nice and golden. Now add 2 Vidalia onions, chopped, and saute for about 10-12 minutes until you get some nice crispy bits on the onion. They taste so good. Okay, now we're gonna throw in 8 cups of hand-crushed San Marzano tomatoes. Big pinch of dried thyme, could also use oregano. 1/3 cup of chopped basil, fresh. 1/2 cup of minced parsley. And 1 whole grated carrot. Carrots add sweetness, natural sweetness. We're gonna bring this to a simmer and cook on medium-low for 30 minutes. Stir every once in a while. And that's it for the sauce. Now we're gonna make our Braciola severed arm. In a bowl, add 1/2 cup of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, 1 minced garlic clove, 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan, a handful of minced parsley, fresh, and 1/4 cup of chopped dried cranberries. It's gonna add a nice sweet tang to this super savory filling. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and mix it up. We'll set this aside for now. For the flesh of the arm, here I got a 1.5 pound flank steak. We're gonna butterfly it. Basically cut it right down the middle and leaving just a little bit at the end so that you can go like this. It becomes one big piece. Now pound it 1/2 inch thin with a meat pounder. Pound it good. Woo! Now we're gonna season it with a little bit of sea salt, pepper, and add 4 slices of provolone and 4 slices of mozzarella. Add our breadcrumb mixture. This smells so good, the garlic, the cheese. Now roll it up like a jelly roll. This way all this goodness and cheese melts inside the meat. Now we're gonna tie each end with some butcher's twine. We're gonna season it again with a little bit more salt and pepper and sear this baby in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil on medium heat. You want it to be brown on all sides? A couple of minutes will do it. Here's Panos with more on flank steak.
The flank steak, also known as bavette. Now, it comes from the abs of the cow. You're gonna find this long flat cut of meat in beef stir fries and fajitas. But the French, the French give it the respect it deserves in steak frit. That's right, bro. Bavette is a speck steak on its own. It's a little chewy, but because it's so flavorful, the extra chewing is a good thing. When it comes to steak, people are a bunch of followers. Ribeye, filet, sirloin, but bavette is the independent man's choice. Same with Halloween. All the carving of the pumpkins and the giving out the candy. Last year, me and decided to do Halloween my way. We gave out some fried calamari, huh? We set up a nice lobster bobbing station. And you know how I was rewarded for my creativity? A lawsuit. Yeah. Well, what kid doesn't know that when you bob for lobsters, it comes at you, so you have to make little bubbles to calm it down, bro. What are you...
Thanks, Panos. Our meat is beautifully browned on all sides. We're gonna transfer it onto a baking sheet. And let this thing cool while we make our meatball hand. Here I've got 1.5 pounds of ground chuck. Add 1 egg, a handful of fresh minced parsley, 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, 1 minced garlic clove, and some hot chili flakes. Big pinch dried oregano, big pinch of sea salt, and pepper. Now I'm gonna mix this using gloves, and I'll tell you why. Because we're gonna be shaping this into a hand. It'll take a little while. I prefer to not touch raw meat for extended periods of time. I'm weird like that, I guess. Mix it up. Now for the fun part. Grab a chunk and shape it like your palm. Doesn't have to be perfect right away. We're gonna perfect it as we go along. Now we're gonna make the fingers. So grab some more and roll it up. Use your hand as a guide. Last thing, we're gonna make a wrist. Same thickness as the braciola, so there's a nice smooth transition. Now we're gonna add the palm, fingers, and use what's left of the meat to perfect the shape. In college, I took a sculpting class. It's funny how you always have such high hopes for that chunk of clay. Oh, I'm gonna make a gorgeous baby leopard. You always end up with a mug. Prepares you for having kids, I guess. When we get back, we're gonna finish up this masterpiece and yap about the schiefiest Halloween costumes out there. Mwah ha 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 ha!
Don't get literal.
Don't get. I'll show you don't get.
Finger food.
Hi, Rico.
Hi, Nadia.
You know, it's not easy to cackle, huh? Not even Meryl Streep did it. Welcome back to Bitchin' Kitchen's Halloween special. Now you all know I'm not afraid to call a spade a twit, so I'm gonna come right out and say it. Most Halloween costumes fan schief. Here are the worst Halloween costumes ever. Bunny suits, nurse outfits, sexy devils. Really, ladies? Let me give you a tip, okay?
Don't judge, Miss G. Halloween is a time to express yourself. And this says, hey, let's get together. At least till after Christmas.
Good point. Those who dress up like inanimate objects, lamp, stapler, broccoli even. But who are these people? What are they?
These people are the salt of the earth. Plus, if you don't think carrots are scary, you haven't eaten my mother-in-law's.
And finally, those I couldn't think of a costume individuals wearing pajamas and smeared lipstick.
Just because you don't understand the costume doesn't mean it wasn't purposeful. Anyone with half a brain could see that, Samantha Fox!
Let's finish this braciola. We're gonna cover this thing completely in prosciutto. Wait till you see what this looks like once it roasts. The prosciutto gets all crispy. It looks exactly like cooked skins. Yes. All right, now we're gonna add 4 cups of our marinara sauce. Now cover it with foil so it cooks evenly and it doesn't dry out. And roast at 350 for 40 minutes. At the 40-minute mark, remove the foil and broil it for 5 more minutes so the prosciutto gets all crispy. Look at this thing. It's revolting. But it tastes fantastic. Think about it. We've got steak, meatballs, all of it wrapped in prosciutto, all that nice marinara sauce. And with a bit of creative sculpting, you've got a dish fit for even the most discerning cannibal. Oh, we all know what that means. It's time for Facts You Wish You Didn't Know, Cannibal Edition.
Facts you wish you didn't know. Cannibal edition.
Facts. In '88, London performance artist Rick Gibson ate a canapé of donated human tonsils legally as art.
Fact.
In '81, a Japanese man named Sagawa Issei murdered and ate a Dutch woman. After spending only 5 years in captivity, he was released and currently lives freely in Japan, writing restaurant reviews. Fact.
Fact.
Eating your fingernails is considered a form of self-cannibalism. But I personally hypothesize that eating fingernails expresses an instinct to expose oneself to minute amounts of bacteria, thus strengthening your immune system via antibodies. But that's just me. Bon appetit! I'm gonna grab a thumb and a nice chunk of forearm. I hear it's the most tender. I love this tender steak. We've got our garlicky, cheesy filling in this crispy, salty prosciutto. Meatball time. You can't go wrong with meatballs, the tender beef. We get that fresh parsley. This is almost too good. Cannibalism should be illegal. Candy time, and we're making designer toffee apples sprinkled with Malden salt. Now, for years, trick-or-treaters have been all paranoid about finding a razor blade or something in their candy. But in Ireland, foreign objects are purposefully baked into the Halloween brack, this traditional sweet loaf that doubles as a fortune-telling game, depending on what object you choke on. Highlights include a stick to beat your spouse with, which means you'll have an unhappy marriage, but an eventful one. If you find a little rag, that means you'll be poor. Get a coin and you'll be rich. Find a ring and you'll be married within the year. And if you scoff a couple of slices and don't find anything at all, that means you're gonna have a very difficult future. Trip to the bathroom. We're gonna make some English toffee. Here I've got a heavy-bottomed pot fitted with a candy thermometer. Add 1 cup of unsalted butter, 2 cups of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Get it going on medium heat and stir occasionally until the butter is melted, it starts to boil, temperature reads 285, and it's a nice amber color. While this cooks, here's Hans to yap about candy alternatives, the big nerd.
Miss G, why can't we be healthy for Halloween? Give out dried fruit dipped in dark chocolate loaded with antioxidants? Or trail mix packed with protein-rich nuts? Everyone is so scared to give out anything that isn't pre-packaged and sealed. Let it be known that this fear is built on a lie. Here are the facts. There's only one Halloween poisoning incident recorded in American history. Just one, Miss G. And it was a father who poisoned his own son's candy to claim life insurance. But how many lives does sugar claim? Brah, brah, brah. Think about that. So if you want to be really safe, when you hand those kids those healthy treats, tell them to keep their eyes peeled for their parents.
Thanks, Hans. Our toffee's done. When we get back, we're gonna finish these candied apples, and I'm gonna tell you a real Josiah ghost story. No? That's kind of more like Dracula, though. Is that cackling, or? It's time for a Josiah family ghost story. Years ago, when I was a little kid, me and my mother were home all alone on a cold fall night. All of a sudden, I hear this noise. Mom was vacuuming. We had Zivengenzina coming from Italy, so we had to make the place all spacky. Then all of a sudden, the temperature drops. It was so cold you could see your breath. It was absolutely freezing. So I tiptoe into the basement and close all the windows. We were airing the place out. My dad smoked like a chimney back then. It was all musty. Then I hear this voice. Nadia, I'm going to kill you. Me. I lost it. I ran up the stairs like a maniac and locked myself in the bathroom. See, here's the thing. I had eaten all the chocolate bits from this cake my mom made for the guests. She was so mad at me.
That's not a ghost story.
Huh? Well, how do you know I wasn't possessed when I ate that cake? I even barfed like the exorcist. See, I'm a bit double-jointed. If I turn my head, I can keep going all... Our toffee is ready. It looks and smells fantastic. Here I've got a bunch of little Macintosh apples. You want to use small apples. And what we're gonna do is dip them in the toffee. And then sprinkle them with a little bit of Malden salt. You dip, you sprink. While I finish these up, here's the spice agent with more on Malden salt.
Thank you, Nadia. Malden salt is a flaky sea salt that is mild with less salty bitterness in the aftertaste. It's coming from England, Britain, and has become known worldwide. It's been featured in many radio and television programs, but not the good ones like Howie Stern or Doogie Howser. This is why Malden salt has become like a super institution. It's run by the fourth generation of the Osborne family. No, not the Osborne family from TV, but I know what you're asking yourself. Where can I get the first 3 seasons of Doogie Howser on DVD? Amazon. Malden salt remains an enduring symbol of English manufacture. It is one of only few family-run businesses with a super global reputation. And yes, it's planning on being around for another 130 years. 130 years. What's the big deal? That's nothing. In Ra'anana, we have a family of goats that have been giving bad milk from Papa Goat to Son Goat for 900 years. Don't look at me like that. It's an acquired taste.
Thanks,
Yecheskel Mizrahi.
Look at our toffee apples. These are bitchin' on their own. But because more is more, we're gonna create a DIY topping bar. This way you can create your own custom designer apples. We'll start by making some chocolate fondue. Here I got a double boiler. We're gonna melt 1 cup of chopped dark chocolate, 1 cup of chopped milk chocolate, add 1/3 cup of whipping cream, and stir for about 5 minutes until all the chocolate is melted. See, this chocolate is gonna be the glue. You grab your toffee apple, dip it in the chocolate, and then roll it around in whatever topping you like. Excited. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is pour this chocolate into a fondue pot. This way it stays nice and melted. Now check out our topping bar. We've got shredded coconut, peanut butter candy, pretzels, dried cherries, got little banana bits, almonds. Let's demonstrate how this works.
I went shopping the other day. I got some gorgeous stuff on sale. Got a nice pair of jeans, nice t-shirt, and a nice shirt.
J'ai été dernièrement à Paris. J'aime le froid.
The world would be a better place if there was more glitter, unicorn, rainbow, and small people.
So I once had a lizard, but it got lost in my messy living room.
Back it up. When we get back, we're gonna make some bitchin' drinks, so stay hungry. There we go.
At Josiah Farms, we understand the importance of quality. That's why every Josiah Farm chicken...
Gotcha. In Montreal, the word Halloween is pronounced Halloween, and it means getting smashed. It also means eating candy, so I'm gonna fuse these 2 traditions into one. Ladies and Genos, prepare yourself for candy-infused vodka! I bet you don't know you could infuse vodka with candy, except you too cool for school, bearded Brooklyn hipster foodies. You know everything, you know, huh? With your little urban gardens and vintage cravats. Your Halloween costume is probably a ratty old t-shirt that says, "Bad Halloween costume." So ironic. Anyways, back to the candy-infused vodka. It's for these brilliant ideas that I get paid the mediocre bucks. It's all about the shoe budget, though. All right, now you're gonna get your hands on 3 large mason jars. In the first jar, we're gonna add 1/3 cup of peach gummies and pour in 1 cup of premium vodka. In the second jar, 1/3 cup of sour cherry balls. And in the last jar, 1/3 cup of lemon and lime gummy bears. Vodka. Now close these suckers up. Let these suckers sit on the counter for 2 days, shaking them 3 times a day. Let them sit for 2 days, shaking 3 times a day. Let them sit for 2 days, shaking 3 times a day.
Let them sit for 2 days,
Woo!
shaking 3 times a day. Let them sit for 2 days, shaking 3 times a day. Let them sit for 2 days, shaking 3 times
Oh, that's right. You're always talking, thinking you know it all, huh? Well, hold on just a second.
What?
Here we got some 2-day-old vodka. What we're gonna do is strain them into jars using a cheesecloth. Ah, look at all that sugar gunk. Man, what a hangover. I mean, the color. Look at that color. Okay, we're gonna make 3 drinks. First, sour cherry cola. Grab a highball glass, pop in an ice cube shaped like a brain. In goes about an ounce of our sour cherry vodka, some fresh lime slices, and top it off with cola. Drink number 2, grab a whiskey glass, an ounce of our lemon lime gummy bear vodka, fresh mint in there, lemonade, and a splash of lemon soda. We'll garnish this baby with a bunch of gummy bears impaled on a skewer. And lastly, in a fancy glass, martini glass, some of our peach gummy vodka, little splash of OJ, little splash of cranberry, and garnish with one of these gummy rings. Let's drink. You can really taste that sour cherry vodka, very original. And when mixed with Coke, your guests won't be able to stop talking about it. Ooh, so fresh, minty, lemon, lime, gummy bear goodness. It's like a mojito, but minus the class. Oh, peachy. It's all so peachy now. People say you made it. You should be grateful. Get out of my face! Woo-wee! Those drinks really kick with diazepam. Let's talk Halloween decor. Now people spend a fortune on this stuff. Why? It's so easy and cheap to turn your place into a nightmarish crypt. Check it. We'll start by making some theatrical blood. In a bowl, mix half a cup of golden corn syrup, 2 tablespoons of chocolate syrup, and 1 tablespoon of red food coloring. Look at that. It's got that nice thick blood consistency. Very nice. Then grab an old sheet or a tablecloth, and we're gonna schwitz it with our blood. Make sure you get some good bloody handprints in there. Oh, look at that. Pure Dexter. That's awesome. Yay! Now, buy some cheap secondhand dolls and rip their heads off. Oh, and lobotomize them. Dip them in red paint. This way it looks nice and painful. Now scaff in some flowers, but only use fresh flowers. Gotta keep it tasteful. Come on. Boom, vases. Light a couple of black candles, get Bitchin' Kitchen looping on mute, and zakata. It doesn't get creepier than that. Especially season 1, bro. Today on Bitchin' Kitchen, we scoffed a Halloween feast at a... I think there's a better way to recap this episode. Mr. Mike Realm, hit it! I'm Nadia G, and we're watching Bitchin' Kitchen. Let's get cooking. Pound it. Pound it good. Pound it. Pound it good. Easy there. There we go. Easy there. Nadia G
is the independent man's choice.
Yep, good point. Nadia G
is the independent man's choice.
Yep, good point. All right, candy time. Sweet candy time. Sweet. Very nice. What a spread today, huh? Eh? Candied vodka, all that food, male models, fights with chickens, biblical reenactments, cotton balls, and zombie boy. It's like a Lynch film, this special, but more linear. I had a blast partying with you for Halloween, and I hope I've inspired you to throw a bitchin' Halloween party too. Now this would probably be a good time for me to say something like, be safe. But come on, if you can't survive Halloween, you're probably the weakest one in the herd, so I'll just let nature take its course. Alla prossima!